All right, guys. So we're gonna be continuing here with a man pinning his failure on Myron and thanks God for his wife. Let's jump in.
Versus radical left-wing beliefs because, it just doesn't serve us to be liberal, and we can see that there.
Bring this up a little
But
bit.
but yeah,
Bring it up just a little bit. Can I bring this up just a
there's a
little
loud minority. What's that, man?
bit? Hey, can I bring this up a little bit? Is that okay? Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you remember me at all?
No.
Okay. So can I ask a quick synopsis of what you think the prescription is for society today for men? In a short version, what do you think they should do to be successful with women?
To be successful with women,
Yeah.
okay, are we talking about like getting a girl for a long-term relationship, just to get laid? What are we talking about?
Well, I
here?
think the only reason should be for a long-term relationship and marriage. I mean, that's Jesus Christ founded it. But I'm just curious what your prescription is.
Oh
Well-
my God. Oh God, it's gonna be cringy. And I'm Christian. I'm very Christian, but this is not the way you lead this type of conversations, man. This is gonna be a nuclear bomb, man.
I've talked about this. I think guys have to have certain things in place, right, before they want to get into a long-term relationship. It's 5 things. So I would say 100K per year, 6 figures a year, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, have at least 50 partners, right, sexual body count.
All right. And then is that the last one?
And then there's one more, but that's fine. You could go ahead and
Okay.
engage with what I've said so far.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved.
The fact that you even have these feminists just applauding, that means that your message is in the wrong place, my guy. Let's go. Majority of these females don't even believe in Jesus Christ. What in the hell this dude is doing? What I noticed with Andrew Wilson, a lot of these very high top level Christian debaters, although their premise of their moral view is Christianity, and it's a strong stand, the least they do is to put Christianity right there in front of your face. Because I don't think Christianity works like that, guys. With Christianity, you have to live it to sell it better. The fact that you said this guy just want to start the conversation like this, I don't know, it's your fault, Myron, Jesus Christ, boo, and you have the feminists in the back clapping. You are in the wrong side here, guys. My dude, you're in the wrong side.
Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt,
Oh my God.
Congratulations. That's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable.
Why
And
we
they should
do
be treated
this,
as
God?
such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat him? So I think
Yo, this guy went from Myrone Gaines fresh and fit to simping mode, man. Unbelievable.
So a question for you. You said you got out there dating and meeting women and stuff like
Yep.
that. And then you said that it kind of hurt you.
yeah.
How did it hurt you specifically? Did you like just start? What happened specifically?
Well, I started warring against my own flesh. It's like trying to fill an empty void.
Mm-hmm.
There's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man that can only be filled by God alone. Anything else you try to fill with that's not going to satisfy it.
Sure.
And I tried to do it with sex.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So, would it be fair? How'd you meet your wife?
We actually had the #1 dating podcast in North and South Carolina called Who Hurt You Podcast.
Okay.
And I'm also friends with Fresh. I know him very well. I texted him before I came here.
Yeah.
And I know pretty much everyone on your crew. But I was a heavy follower, and you actually inspired me to start the podcast, and I realized what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah. So would it be?
Okay, so you find a woman, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, man. Oh my God. Oh man, I don't even know. I'm not even worried about feminism, guys. I'm just worrying about dudes like this. I understand as Christian we have some duties, right? But we should not be blind. We should not be blind from our own mistakes. The fact that you are married and have kids, maybe just going through that experience gave you what? A sense of just knowing what is a good woman or not. And again, we don't know. We don't know yet. Because at this point we have to let time determine what's going to be in the end of it. I sincerely wish that nothing happened, no divorce, no nothing. I want guys like you, smart, to have multiple kids. I'm okay with that. But coming to this like this, man, I'm a Christian. I'm a strong Christian, guys. But I'm not going to ignore the things that I learned in the past, the pickup artists, the self development, a lot of this stuff, held me a little bit to understand where I was. I was in a very bad place. All right, very bad place. A lot of lust, a lot of not good. When I went out to start talking to girls and tried to get girls right, it helped me out to understand myself better. And with those skills, I managed to just get a good woman. But just to throw that out of the window, just because I have found Jesus Christ. This is not how things work, man. This is not how this works, guys. My God.
It'd be fair to say that when you went through that experience, you were able to identify characteristics that you probably found as unredeemable and you probably wouldn't want to commit to, right?
In what way?
Well, when you were seeing these women, right, you probably started seeing patterns in how they behave, how they speak, or whatever. Maybe they're not qualified to be a wife. Because the thing is, right?
Well, I don't need that. I have the Bible for that. It tells me what to look for.
Yeah, but the thing is that you were able.
Okay, so read 3:16, Genesis 3:16, man. We read it here. Read Genesis 3:16. It's literally what Myrone is just. This is the problem, man. It's just, Jesus Christ, bro. What about Genesis? Can you read Genesis? If you guys really read Genesis, you guys are going to understand that there's a lot of red pill content in Genesis alone. And you will understand there's a patriarchy built in Christianity. It's not Jesus Christ and that's it. No, man, it goes deeper than this, guys.
Probably not going to notice it, but when you dated and dealt with all these women, you probably were able to identify characteristics that you were not fond of, or characteristics that would make a woman not a good candidate for a long-term relationship. And I think half the game is figuring out which girls don't qualify for marriage versus which ones that do. And clearly you learned a skill set on how to become attractive and get women, and then you're able to identify the things that you like versus the things that you don't like. And that only comes a lot of times with experience. Now, look, if a guy can go ahead and, find a woman as a virgin and be attractive and be able to understand how to navigate that, that's great in modern times. But the reality is a lot of guys don't. And I mean, even in your success story, you had to go through a lot of bad women to be able to identify your current wife as the one. So failures are good. They're good.
Yeah, failures, failures in the sense of socioeconomic or maybe even relationship failures could be good.
This dude is so... Oh my God, the arrogance, man. These guys are arrogant, man. Like, bro, you understand that you got to the point that you got because you make a lot of those mistakes, man. Why can't you not simply just take accountability of your own mistakes? I just don't get it. You have to go here, try to undermine Myron's. What Myron's doing is not even easy, man. You have feminists just applauding what you're saying. I just don't get it.
With what I'm saying that we're warned against our soul. Jesus Christ commands us to marry one woman. That's it.
Sure.
And what you were causing me to do was sin against myself, and that's the point I'm trying to get to. It's immoral.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take personal responsibility, bro.
There we go.
The reality.
No, I do, 100%.
Yeah, so
very publicly, I have in front of over 40,000 people. I've done that.
Yeah, great. But the point I'm trying to make is I teach guys a skill set, right? If I give you a gun and you shoot yourself in the foot, is that my fault? If I taught you how to properly use it, how to disarm it, disassemble it, how to load the magazine in properly, all that. If I give you the skill set, then you shoot yourself in the foot, right? Is that really my fault? No, I just arm you with the skill set. Then you choose what you want to do with it. Now, obviously, you wanted to go toward a sex escapade, which is, I guess, fine. But the reality is, I armed you with the tools to become an attractive guy, and you utilize that You can't come back and get mad
No,
and
you
say,
didn't arm me
oh,
with that. I became attractive when I followed Jesus. That was it.
Man, I want to throw my mouth to the wall, man. Man, I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, Father. They don't know what they're doing, man. Listen, I understand from a Christian purview, Myron's advice, it could be contradictory. It can create some contradictions. I admit that. But the fact that you're coming to the microphone right now and not it just with this arrogant voice try to just go back and forth with Myron, bro, you're lacking you're lacking humility, my guy. You're not taking accountability. You're lacking humility. You have to step back, go back, and really look at yourself and say, you know, how did I get here? I just found Jesus Christ, and that's it. Okay, you found Jesus Christ. The first thing he's gonna say to go through the process of forgiveness is just humility. You don't look humble here. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You don't look humble. You look like somebody that want to blame your last behaviors, man. Your past behavior. You're looking for something to blame.
oh, okay. Now it's changing the story.
No, I'm not changing any story. It's one thing to be attractive in the sense of gaining sexual partners, but it's a completely different thing to be attractive to someone that wants to marry you and spend their life with you and have kids with you. Those are two completely different sexual attractions. If I walk in here looking like Thor, I'm 6'2" and shredded, obviously I'm going to be attractive to women, but it doesn't mean that that's a relationship that produces value for me and my family.
And again, everyone is different, right? For you, it took some time, and you found God, and you shifted. But the reality is, I gave you the skill set, and then you choose what you want to do. That's up to you, and you made that decision, not me.
And that's what the red pill is, guys. It's just a bunch of information that help you go through the reality of the world, and you decide what to do with it.
Exactly. It's on me 100%. I'm not placing blame on you. But what I'm telling you, from someone that lives,
I'm too, that you got to understand
what happens when you speak to people and tell them to do these things.
Here's the other thing, too. Like, now you're operating with 20/20 hindsight. You went through it. You experienced
Correct.
it. You
That's
know.
true.
A lot of guys.
There we go. That's true. That's the point, my guy. That is the point. That way your future generation don't have to make the same mistake. You're going to try to guide them. That way they don't have to make the same mistake. But you're lacking humility. It's the humility part you're lacking, man. You're lacking that humility, bro. You instead of saying, man, I understand what I went through. I know how I went through a lot of this kind of turbulence, but hopefully my kids don't have to go through this. I'm going to teach them. But you're lacking that part. See, that's the wisdom. You're lacking that.
Need to get their hand burned sometimes to figure out how things work. Because let's be honest, men are very stubborn.
Why do they need to do that? If they find a God-fearing woman, they wouldn't do half the stuff you're talking about.
Bro, because they still women, my guy. We're not dealing with virgins. Female Christians are just divorcing their families as well. Like, we see these, man, we react to a lot of these videos here and with the HL content. Like, a lot of these mom just, they divorced their God-fearing man to just get another God-fearing man. We see them. Christian females are doing the same thing. Like, I just don't get why this guy cannot get that part.
Well, here's the thing. Finding a God-fearing woman in today's day and age is a lot harder said than done, right? So
I did it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
And so did everyone in my whole family. So.
And why in the hell are you looking for red pill content? That's the case. You already have mom and dad doing it. Oh my God.
Oh, it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's anecdotal from your perspective. But again, you learned the skill set. You were able to find a wife, and I'm happy about that. But you got to take a little bit of accountability here and understand that you basically got a loaded gun and shot yourself in the foot, and you're trying to blame me for it.
No, I'm not blaming you. Like I said, I take accountability. There's a big difference there.
Okay.
You're taking accountability, but yeah, mine was your fault. Yeah, come on.
Nothing against you. Like I said, I've hung out with Fresh 8 or 9 times recently. I love them, and I think your heart is in the right place. But I just wanted to give you from someone that actually listened to what you were saying to do, read your book, and it didn't work. That's all I was trying to do for you.
Well, actually, it
All right, bro, shut up, bro.
did. You didn't notice it yet.
Yeah, man, you have to at this point you have to let spirit kick in, bro. You just, man, it's just. And I used to be like this too. Don't get me wrong. I used to live it like I used to be young and naive, right? And something that I really learned throughout time is that sometimes you have to let time. You have to let time to give you the answers. You have to, guys. You have to. You have to. This guy is still blaming. He came here to just shame and blame Myron. That's why he came here. It didn't work. It came out as an arrogance. Listen, man. I'm a Christian as well. Love Jesus Christ. Love him. And I talk to him every night. Tell him to forgive me for not being a good husband, a good father, a good brother, everything. I tell him every night to forgive me. Right? But something I would never tell him is to put me in a situation where arrogance will take over. Arrogance is something bad because it's like a fake confidence, right? It should be having fake confidence. I asked him for humility and wisdom. Humility and wisdom.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to identify your
Yeah,
wife.
yeah, he's laughing.
You didn't notice it yet.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to identify your wife.
They're laughing.
And have been able to find her and figure out what characteristics you like and don't like, right? Unless you went through that.
My wisdom came from the Bible, not you. But I appreciate.
Bro, the Bible. You read Genesis in that case, man. You read Genesis, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
It.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, read Genesis, and you'll be very surprised. Anybody here in my podcast, you don't have to be Christian. Just read Genesis, man. Genesis is gonna really teach you a lot about the patriarchy. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.